Hi guys, so one of the worst things about Brexit is the lies told by the likes of Boris Johnson, Michael Gove, Farage and Commons. The idea that if Britain were free of the European Union, it would be able to do more to help ordinary people. No better way of exposing these lies is comparing how the Tory Brexiteer government deals with a problem and how the EU deals with the same problem. Energy prices are rising, and this affects all of us. But of course it harms those on low or fixed incomes more as they can't absorb higher prices. So I want to show you two articles. The first is from the European Commission back in October to help deal with the winter energy crisis. It talks about a toolkit being available to member states to help those struggling with energy bills. I want to highlight a few things here. Emergency income support and preventing disconnections. Member states can make social payments to those most at risk to help them pay their energy bills. This can be financed with EU emission trading system revenues. Put in safeguards to avoid disconnections from the energy grid or authorise deferrals of bill payments temporarily. These are short-term measures, but of course what is needed is a move away from fossil fuels. It also talks about a resilient EU energy system. The Commission will consider revising the security of supply regulation to make it fit for growing uptake of renewable gases and ensure a better use of functioning of gas storage across the single market. Support the development of future-proof energy storage as a key flexibility tool, and in the short and medium term, explore the potential benefits and design a voluntary joint procurement by member states of gas stocks. It also talks about long-term solutions, but also importantly, looking at helping consumers at this time. Under protecting and empowering end users, it says, member states can support consumer empowerment, providing consumers with information and options on how they can participate in the energy market, for example with faster and easier switching of suppliers. Further boost the role of consumers in the energy market by empowering them to switch suppliers, receive advice on how to reduce energy consumption and bills, generate their own electricity, and join energy communities. Now, if we contrast this with the United Kingdom, something interesting is highlighted in this article by The Guardian. The chief executive of Energy UK told the paper that only about a fifth of the consumer's energy bill in the UK is in the control of suppliers. The government sets other costs such as VAT and green energy levies, which could be reduced to help domestic customers. A significant portion of the bill is policy costs, she said. Many other governments across Europe have reduced taxes or VAT on bills. In the UK that would save around £90 per customer. There are also policy costs on energy bills that government was consulting on removing. On energy bills primarily, they could bring that forward. That saves around £190 per customer. But if we go back to 2016 on the very issue of energy prices, Michael Gove said this in response to a question.
Mr Gove, in general elections, parties present detailed manifestos on how they propose to manage the economy if elected. Why hasn't the Leave campaign presented a detailed economic plan?
Well, Andrew, first of all, thank you for the work you do, and I think it's hugely to your credit that you're committed to producing products that will improve the lives of people in pain and suffering. But more than that, we have outlined in significant detail things that could change as a result of leaving the European Union. One of the things that I've explained is that we would be able to take away VAT on fuel if we left the European Union. One of the problems about being in the EU is that you can't, once VAT has been slapped on a product, take it down to zero. That means that everyone, the poorest, pensioners, pays 5% VAT on fuel to heat and light their own home. I've said if we leave the European Union, we can take that VAT off, and that means the very poorest in our society can be better off. I've also outlined that if we leave the European Union, then we can invest additional millions in our National Health Service, and it's also the case that those of us in Vote Leave have outlined that if we leave the European Union, we can tackle the rogue European Court of Justice, which not only imposes laws that mean that multinationals can dodge taxes here, but is also responsible for weakening our border controls so that we cannot keep out criminals and we cannot kick out terrorists.
So the Brexiteer was lying. The UK can remove taxes like VAT to help people, but they have decided not to. EU member states have already done this, but the Brexiteer government has not. Why not? Being a member of the EU gives you access to tools to help consumers deal with the rising costs of energy, something that UK consumers do not have the benefit of. But Brexiteers will continue to say that it was better to be out. As always, the people who push Brexit the most will never be the ones to pay the price of it. Gove, Johnson, Farage and others can absorb the higher energy prices, so they don't care about dealing with this problem. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.